Let's face it, cruising to Alaska is supposed to be a dream vacation. Breathtaking glaciers, abundant wildlife, and endless natural beauty. But reality can sometimes rain on those sunny day expectations. From packing faux pas, missing out on hidden gems, and even preparing for the weather, today's video is about the cruise mistakes that can turn your Alaskan adventure into a "oof, wish I'd known that" moment. We'll help you avoid common mistakes and give you expert tips and tricks to ensure you have a smooth and unforgettable Alaskan cruise. You'll want to stay until the end of this video for some must-pack items and Alaska cruise-specific packing tips. If you're new here, I'm Sherry, founder of CruiseTipsTV.com, a website dedicated to helping you plan your dream vacation at sea. In today's video, we're tackling Alaska cruise mistakes. Now, whether you're a seasoned cruise lover or a first-time cruiser, you will find some valuable tips here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more cruise content. And if you're already subscribed, please know that your thumbs ups on this video really matter. All right, let's start with planning your Alaska cruise. The first pitfall to avoid is choosing the wrong cruise line. Not all cruise lines are created equal, and Alaska's unique offerings demand a good fit. Luxury lines with smaller ships can navigate closer to glaciers and wildlife, while those larger ships from budget-conscious lines offer more onboard activities and amenities to keep busy in between those port stops. So consider your travel style. Do you crave relaxation and scenic exploration, or do you enjoy action-packed days with a full schedule of entertainment and stuff to do? Research the typical passenger demographic on each line too. Some of them cater to families with lively entertainment and lots of kids programming, teens programming, and activities, while others skew towards a more mature crowd seeking a tranquil experience. Choosing the right cruise line is key to setting the tone for an unforgettable Alaskan adventure, and using a travel advisor can really help out with this. Our travel advisor partner's contact info can be found down in the description of this video if you need a recommendation or a referral. Now, when you cruise to Alaska is also key. We have a whole video we'll link to on the best and worst times to cruise to Alaska. Just know that the Alaskan cruise season is kind of short and sweet, and your timing can really impact that cruise experience, you guys. If you want warmer weather and long days for glacier viewing and hiking, then you should target the peak season of like mid-June to mid-July. However, this prime time comes with crowds and higher prices. The shoulder season months of May and September offer fewer crowds and potentially lower costs. May is also surprisingly known for drier weather and those low prices, while September presents a chance to witness the early stages of some vibrant fall foliage and maybe even the northern lights, maybe. If you're prepared for slightly cooler temperatures and more rain, September might be for you. Finally, July and August can be the warmest months and the weeks when bears are most active because the salmon are spawning. Okay, here's one thing you don't need to worry about when booking your Alaska cruise. Visit any cruise message board and you'll see cruisers obsessing about which side of the ship they book their stateroom on. But you guys, you don't need to worry about this. On glacier viewing days, your ship's gonna rotate 360 degrees to make sure you and everyone else get a really good view. And it's just not a big deal to be on the starboard or the port side. So cross this worry off of your list of concerns. Now, another regret some cruisers have is not paying attention to the nuances of their itinerary when booking. Not all Alaska cruise itineraries are created equal. Here's some things to watch out for. Cruises without a glacier day are a really good example of an itinerary you might regret if you really want to go see a glacier. Also, short days in port that start really early in the morning or later in the day and don't leave much time to see the area, don't like those. Again, these things may not be an issue for you personally, but do pay attention to your itinerary and those hours in port when you're booking. And again, talk to that travel agent about this. Speaking of glacier visits, not being out on the open deck on your glacier day and missing the naturalist talks is a big mistake, especially if it's your first time in the area. Most cruise ships bring on these naturalists to share their expertise and wisdom when visiting places like Glacier Bay. Even if you're the kind of person, kind of like me, who doesn't really like seminars or educational programs, especially on a cruise, these opportunities are not to be missed. If nothing else, get out on the open decks if the weather permits to experience the full majesty of glacier viewing. You might find there's things like special cocktails served over glacial ice and other tasty surprises up on the open decks. So you gotta get up there. Don't miss out on this. The next common mistake, this is a frequent one, especially for new cruisers. Thinking you have to book excursions through the cruise line is a myth and sometimes a waste of your money. You can book independently with companies like Shore Excursion Group, which offer a return to ship guarantee and usually less crowded tours. We're going to include an affiliate link to their website below so you can do some research and see if it works for you. Now, when it comes to Alaska, and especially Alaska shore excursions, do not neglect budgeting as far in advance as you can. A lot of these excursions fall into the big ticket category, so if you're planning helicopter, flight seeing, or dog sledding adventures, plan for $250 to $500 per person per activity, and sometimes more. Alaska in general is a pricey place to cruise, and some say it can be even like double the cost of what a Caribbean or Mexican Riviera cruise can cost you. So you guys, you got to budget and plan ahead. Here are some specific ways to do that. First up, travel with plenty of cold hard cash. ATM fees can be expensive on ships, and you're less likely to overspend if you're paying for stuff like souvenirs and other things like food with cash. Next, do not book your excursions at the last minute. Not pre-booking those excursions is a huge mistake on an Alaska cruise. And don't forget to budget for some gear for Alaska. You don't really need that much, but some must-pack things might be proper outerwear, jackets, things like that. Travel-size binoculars, some sunglasses are essential, a camera, even your phone, water-resistant shoes, and bug repellent. When cruising to Alaska, don't pass up the special regional cuisine on board the ship. Some cruise lines offer things like freshly caught fish, maybe even crab legs, my favorite, and they're not to be missed. Usually the cruise line marks the menus to indicate some kind of a partnership with a local eatery, so watch for that. That's salmon, those crab cakes, those fish tacos. Eat like an Alaskan. Now, cruise lines like Holland America even offer pea soup on the open decks on certain days of the cruise. So check your newsletter and app and enjoy the food-focused events on your Alaska cruise. This is totally worth it, trust me. All right. Now, for those bonus packing tips that I mentioned earlier. No doubt you've heard the old adage, pack layers when it comes to Alaska. What does that mean? Well, jeans, t-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, and jackets, right? We've got that part down. But here's some specific tips for packing clothing that you may not have thought of. These items are recommended by Alaska residents and will keep you more comfortable. What are they? First up, moisture-wicking socks and water-resistant shoes are essential on your cruise to the last frontier. And you don't need full-fledged hiking boots here. In fact, those really heavy ones can be stiff and uncomfortable, but shop for a shoe that's waterproof or water-resistant. And if you want to keep those feet dry, you're going to also want those nice water-resistant socks. There's some great lightweight hiking boots out there, and we're going to link to a couple of our favorites. And wear those shoes in before your cruise. Walk around your house in them. Even sneakers and hiking boots can give you blisters if they aren't worn in. And of course, don't forget your outerwear. Typically, an insulated jacket that's waterproof will do the trick if you only want to take one jacket, but many cruisers will pack a light rain layer and some sort of an insulated down or fleecy lined jacket for warmth on dry days. Another tip for packing for Alaska: don't assume it's going to be freezing cold all the time. I get messages from Pacific Northwest and Alaska residents all the time saying, Alaska is not the frozen tundra during the summer months. So what should you pack to prepare? Well, probably a pair of shorts, just one, is a good thing to have on hand. Now, you might not reach for the shorts over the course of the cruise, but you might be glad you packed them if you get one of those days where there's 80 or 90-degree weather, which isn't terribly uncommon during the warmer months in Alaska or maybe even in your embarkation port of Seattle. Also, pack some swimwear. Chilling out in a hot tub in Alaska can be one of the most relaxing and majestic experiences, and we swear by it. Another mistake we see cruisers making time and time again is packing the wrong evening wear. While sleeveless sundresses and lightweight resort wear work perfectly in warm weather cruise destinations like the Caribbean, you might want to think about warmth in the evenings when you're in Alaska. For example, if you're participating in an elegant or a dressy night, choose a longer dress or maybe one with sleeves to keep you a little bit warmer. And pair that dress with a wrap or a shawl in case you want to take a walk out on the open deck after dinner, which can be a very romantic thing to do. All right, friends, that's it for this episode. We hope you've picked up some good tips. Now, if we've earned it, please subscribe and let us know what you're most excited about for your Alaska cruise down in the comments below. Now, if you're a seasoned cruiser, leave some Alaska tips down in the comments. Thank you all so very much for watching. Have a wonderful cruise in Alaska. And until next time, we'll see you on the high seas.